Hey, what is up, you guys? It's DJMama here, and we're showing off a new deck. It's finally time for a new deck profile. After Heralds got hit, this is what we're trying to play now. So it is, of course, now Drytron and Nekroz. The Nekroz is an old archetype from the Secret Forces, sometimes around Pendulum era, and I really enjoyed them playing in them in Progression series and finding out they had reprints that were very, cost effective. So we'll go over these real quick. We have of course, the extra, the main deck, and the side, and we'll go right into the profile with Nekroz starting off first. All right. Need to move a lot of things around. All right. Let us start off with the Nekroz part of this. So I just gotta move a lot. Yeah. Okay, we'll put those to the side, and then I have this like segmented off in the Drytron and the Nekroz part. So of course we play the one Shred. Shred is a Rota target, and he's also a full requirement for any Nekroz tribute. So even though he's level 3 and rituals need equal or exceeding level most of the time, he fills an entire requirement by himself in hand or even in graveyard regarding certain ritual spells. So there's one Shred, and then we play, of course, 3 Brio, 3 Brionac. If anybody doesn't know, Nekroz of Brionac, he's the cover card of Dueling Book, but also he is one of the best. He's pretty much the best card in the deck, because Nekroz of Brionac, on discard, he will search any Nekroz monster. So if you need Shurt for ritual stuff, that's fine. And then you can search his friend and companion, Colossalus, who on discard will search you the ritual spell that you need. Either the one of the 3 ritual spells you might want to run. So Brio is just really good. He's also a pre-prep target, not pre-prep, prep target. So preparation of right, searching a level 7 or lower, and he's level 6. You'll love to see it. So that's those are the main culprits of the archetype. We now have the floodgate of the archetype. We play floodgates. Nekroz of Unicorn. So Unicorn will ignore any monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. It will just straight up negate their effects, as he is a floodgate on board. And being a level 4 is really good for the archetype, or really good for him, because he's very easy for one of the ritual spells you use, mainly Kaleidoscope. So he does have a discard effect. You can discard him and target a Nekroz in your graveyard and add it to hand, but you're mostly using him for this floodgate effect, because he's really that great. Next up, 3 Valkyries. I'm not sure about 3 Valkyries. I bought, but we played the 3 because he does do a really good amount of stuff. Cycles your hand. He can discard or tribute. What was it? Discard tribute. Main phase, tribute up to 2 monsters from a hand or field, and if you do, draw the same number of cards. So if there's like 2 things that's not doing really that much for you, or you just want to put a Drytron in grave, you can just tribute those 2 off, and specifically the word tribute is really good for this deck. Yeah, so tributing off and drawing some more cards, very good. And also he stops the battle phase, because sometimes you don't have that much of a good board. Next up, the boss monsters. Of course, we have Trishula. Nekroz of Trishula, great card still to this day. On summon, will banish a card from hand, field, and graveyard. Your opponent has to have at least one card in each. So if they don't have a card in their graveyard, you can't activate Trishula's effect. If they don't have a card in hand, you can't activate it, yada yada yada. And then we have Adrid Bahar. One of the new ones, okay, so on field, he is 3,300 body, which a monster negate. So he only negates monster effects, and he will banish it, negate and banish it. And he tributes a card. Also very good for this archetype, for my deck, because there's 2 different cards that like to be tributed and get an effect off. So there's that. And then, of course, we're playing 1 Cycle, 1 Mirror, and 2 Kaleidoscope. So Nekroz Cycle lets you summon a Nekroz from graveyard, as long as you have targets from hand and field. Mirror lets you summon from hand and lets you summon the ritual monster from hand or field, but you can use Nekroz monsters in your graveyard as long as they exactly hit the level. And Kaleidoscopes lets you use your extra deck. So you can use monsters like Herald of the Arclight to summon Unicorn, who's a level 4, and luckily, Herald of the Arclight is level 4, so you would send Arclight, and Arclight does not care how it's sent to graveyard. As long as it's sent to graveyard, you get a search for a ritual spell or a ritual monster. So that's some good stuff. You love to see it. So that's the Nekroz part of the deck. We'll go into the Drytron part. Yeah, you gotta play Drytrons. They're so good. Of course, we have to start out with 3 Alpha Thuban. He's the main boy of the deck. So Alpha searches the ritual monster when he's special summoned. He searches a ritual monster, and you have to tribute a Drytron or a ritual monster. Then we have 2 Delta. He searches, like, I think he just gets anything, pretty much. He's kind of random. You don't really know what you're going to get. You reveal one, and then you get something back from the search. 2 Gamma. This is what you want to end on. You don't want to see him, you want to search him. You want to see him first, which is not great if you see him first. And then 3 Zeta. Zeta gets you the ritual spell. So, get you something, but you have to reveal a card in hand. This one will special summon a Drytron. This one searches the ritual spell, and then this one will search the ritual monster. So that's that. That's the main monsters lineup. Yeah, you just get advantage, and they can summon themselves from hand or graveyard as long as you have something to tribute, aka a Drytron or a ritual monster. Ah, there goes the cards. Not professional. Who said I was? Okay, they're just gonna be over there. And then we have the ritual monster, Draconids. Drytron Mediona's Draconids, he's just a big monster, and you can't target him with monster effects as long as you use 2 Drytrons. And I think he can negate a monster, but yeah. And then, of course, we play 2 Cyber Emergency to search out any Drytron, because they're light machines that can't be normal summoned or set. And then we have 1 Nova, 1 Medionis. You don't need to clog your hand with that many ritual spells. You're already running like 4. And then Fafnir. The ritual spell, I think that dumps a card. So there's that. That's the spell lineup for the Drytrons. They're just so good. You know, they're just not hit either. And then we have the rest of the deck. We play Foolish Burial just to send something. Sending cards to the graveyard is good in this deck. And of course, the Light Fairy package. Ben 10 is still not banned, and Alpha Pitch Ben 10 is still one of the strongest plays because it's just so good. Triple Diviner the Herald. So both Ben 10 and Diviner do something on Tributed, and Valkyris and Adri Bahar do something when they're in tribute for effect. So of course, Ben 10 on Tribute Summon not once per turn will search any light fairy you have, aka Diviner, and Diviner, when she is tributed, she will summon a level 2 or lower fairy. It's not any light fairy, it's a fairy, anything you want. And my fairy choice is my hand trap. You can play orange lights, but I'm playing no material. It's just a really good card. This deck can go second, and having no material is a really good way of saying, hey, I can go second. And as you see from this deck, there's not a lot of normal summons. The normal summon is pretty much Diviner and Shurt. Everything else can be special summon. You can, but normal summon no material, and I don't know why you would. But the main normal summon, if you get a lot of monsters on field, which you do with Drytron and Nekroz because they summon a lot, is Vanity's Ruler. Yep. So yeah, just ending on Vanity's Ruler is kind of nuts. It's also searchable off Ben 10 because it does a light fairy. So if you don't have a lot of things to do, it's like your first turn doesn't look that great, maybe an Adri Bahar pass, you can try to end on Vanity's Ruler and just try to lock your opponent out of the game. So that is the main deck, and then we'll go on right to the extra deck. Alright, the extra deck. Alright, we'll start off actually with the links. There's not a lot because I didn't have that many to go off of, but we have a Relinquish Animo and Geonator Transverser. These are just funny to kind of go off of. Puts a Drytron in grave and this one will steal an opponent's monster if he gets a point to them. So if I point this one, if I put it into the left extra monster zone, I'm stealing from the middle. If I put it in the right, I'm stealing from the rightmost monster zone. So there's the links. Next we have our Diviner package, aka Untitled and triple Arclight. Actually, we're playing triple Arclight because this is what you would send off Diviner and what you would usually send for Kaleidoscope, because level 4 Unicorn, level 4 Arclight, cool. I get a search and a floodgate on top of that. That's crazy. You can also send a tease if you want, but to destroy a card, which is nice because sometimes floodgates really hurt. Skill drains at being at 3 really does suck. Mubeta Fafnir. You gotta play 2. I play at least 2. If you can play 3 and you can afford 3, play 3. Because this card's just so good. On summon, will dump a card, and if you have Meteonis, you can use XYZ materials for as tribute fodder, because why not? Because just why not? Next, we have a Beatrice. This is not a ghost rare. It's from the what's it? It's Brothers of Legends. It's not a ghost Beatrice. I swear to you, it's just like foiled this way. I don't know why. If it was a ghost, crazy, but I'm pretty sure it's not ghost. It's just an ultra that looks very, very shiny. And then we have Zeus. You got a Zeus. Sometimes you're just like, all right, cool. Fafnir attack, 2k. That's pretty good. All right, cool. We're now Zeus. You always got to have the good plan. There's always got to be a good plan somewhere in this deck. And next is the other Kaleidoscope packages. So for the 8, we have Cyframe Loader Mega. Very good 8 if you have 2 Unicorn, or what was it? Yeah, it's just 2 Unicorn. This is just for 2 Unicorn, pretty much. Next for the 9, of course, regular Trishula. You can't really summon it, but it'd be funny if you could. For the 10, we have Vylon Omega. There's not a lot of good, I'm just using what I have on hand. This is the 10 I use. You can't really summon it, but it is very funny. For the 11, Star Eater. There's not a good 11s in the extra deck. And for our 12, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. You would just send these. It doesn't matter for Kaleidoscope, because Kaleidoscope, you can summon as many Nekroz as possible, as long as you send the correct level. So if you send for 12, you can summon Trish and, where are you at? Colossalus, because 9 plus 3 is 12. If you have, it could also go for Unicorn and Valkyris for 12. Usually you want to load up on 12, but I think it's fine. 11 is weird, hard to make, but it's not too bad. So for 11, it would be Valkyris and Colossalus. That's 11. Sometimes you just have them in hand. For 10, of course, it'll be Unicorn and Brio. And then 9 would be Brio and Colossalus. So adding math class now. So that is the extra deck. All right. Yeah. That's the extra, and then we're moving on to the side deck for this deck. It's not really a great side deck, but it can be used. Anyway, let's go with 3 Lancia. Always a good side deck card, and also searchable off Ben 10. I love to see it. We have a Called by the Grave, because sometimes you got to hit those pesky Drolls. Droll is probably a killer for this deck. Dark Ruler No More, if we're going second, we know we can probably do some stuff going second, but Dark Ruler No More is very good for this deck. And then we have, of course, the Back Row Hate for triple skill drain, Harpy's Feather Duster, and double Twin Twister. Yep. So you gotta do what you gotta do when there's 3 skill drain in the format and Mystic Mine. Just gotta do what you gotta do. They're in the side. yeah, there's not a lot of main deck back removal I want to run in this deck. And then for the rest of it, we have, of course, triple Imperm. They are here. And the last two cards in the deck are extra deck slots, actually. I'm going to run Nightmare Phoenix and Photon Strike Bouncer. If Beatrice isn't working out or Beatrice needs more friends, you can go into Strike Bouncer and start bouncing shit. Because he, once returned during your player's turn, when a monster effect is activated on the side of the field, you can detach material from this card and negate its effects. And then burn for 1,000. And then, of course, Nightmare Phoenix is Nightmare Phoenix. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this Nekroz profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below of this deck, and I hope to take it into some success. I will post some other deck profiles later, some updates, because I do have them. They're just like not tested fully. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.